It's time to wake up and win the weekend. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, giving you that grease. Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to jbtheticket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time to ride the winning wave with Vsx. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Missed the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcast and radio listening.
You're tuned into the Vsx Digital Sports Network.
To the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Turn that shit off. Giving you that grease. Waking you back up early in the morning. You know what time it is. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Getting it done for you. Bringing it back on the line with me. Going to be going over some of this college basketball. My main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Good morning, Troy, up in Seattle. How you doing, brother?
Doing great, JB. Good morning to you. Good morning, Las Vegas.
That's right, Las Vegas. It's time to wake up and get your bankroll ready and put cash in your pocket. Got to be honest, yesterday it was a flip-flopper in college basketball, Troy. We'll talk about it when we get back from this short commercial break, but you know I got some stalwarts on the line with me. My main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLBDaily.com and the East Coast Sports Investors. Good morning, Scotty. Glad to have you back this Sunday. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, JB. Good to be back and, just looking at numbers and all that kind of stuff. And, I make basketball plays, but I'm really ready here for baseball. Let's go, brother.
That's right, baseball. We'll touch on it a little bit. Some basketball on the line with me with my main man, Jeff Dawson, CEO of the East Coast Sports Investors, well known with his show, The Breakfast Bankroll and Sports Map Radio. Want to give a shout out to your main man, Anthony Pepe. Good morning. Jeff Dawson, how you doing, brother?
JB, I'm doing well. I'm glad to be back with this amazing cast that you always put forth on Sunday, ready to get the grease, as you would say.
That's right. We're giving you straight grease this morning, waking you up, putting cash in your pocket. We're going to have a great day on the line, giving you guys picks that are going to put cash in your pocket. More college basketball today. That's what the fans are looking for. They were like, JB, you guys are dropping grease and waking people up early in the morning with that college ball. So that's what we're going to give you a few of the NBA games. Not a big fan of the NBA slate today. And with Scotty Beam him up Webb on the line, we're going to talk some baseball. And then on the half hour, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook and RotoWire.com. That's what we're doing. We're bringing it to you all day, all morning. And then we got a special guest for you also on the half hour that you guys are going to want to stay tuned for. So when I get back from this short commercial break, I got my 3 cohorts. You guys grab your bankroll. Let's get ready to beat the line. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
Hungry for the best barbecue in Las Vegas? Come out to the infamous Barbecue and Meat Market, John Mole's Meats and Roadkill Grill in Las Vegas. John Mole's was featured on the Food Network's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Now take home delicious meat selections for your grill, and while you're there, grab a bite of the best barbecue in Las Vegas. With 2 locations now at Tom and Gowan or on North Decatur, you're sure to find the perfect meats for your next barbecue or party. Find us online at johnmolemeats.com.
You're tuned into the Vsx Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mix Master is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JB the Tech Act. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease.
Waking you back up early in the morning, JP the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. I got my cohorts on the line with me, my main man Troy West from TroyWins.com, Scotty Beam him up Webb from the East Coast Sports Investors and MLB-Daily.com, and Jeff Dawson, the CEO of the East Coast Sports Investors, giving you guys a little bit of that group home family. That's right, cannabis. Too cold to hold, too hot to touch. That's what we're bringing back to you today. That college basketball line is getting hot. We've got some matchups that we really like. And again, my main man, Troy West, thank you so much for coming back on today. Your team is on the line. Number 3, Purdue is at Michigan. You've been talking about Purdue getting the best shot from everyone in the Big Ten. But let's talk about some of the scores that we had yesterday. Again, a flip-flopper. And you know we're honest on this show. No reason to lie. When we win, we win. We're known for our winners, not our losers, and they are so few and in between. But yesterday, we took quite a few on the chin. Let's talk about that Baylor game, man. We had it. It went to overtime, 3-pointer controversy, and then Baylor just melted down. Talk to me about where you see Baylor at number 11, possibly maybe going down the rankings. Do you maybe also think Houston, with this battle-tested matchup, may move into that number 1 spot? Go ahead.
Yeah, Baylor dug themselves a hole early and crawled back, and really, they could have hit one free throw away from winning that game in regulation. They just ran out of gas in overtime. But, JB, as we talked about, the Big 12 is absolutely loaded this year. They're going to have several teams in the tournament, and not just several teams in the tournament, several teams that can make a deep run. You've got Iowa State, you've got Oklahoma looking good, you've got obviously Kansas, you've got Houston. I mean, it's a deep, deep conference. And then you've got Baylor, and Baylor's right there as well. They proved yesterday that they can hang with anybody. Tough loss for us in overtime, but hey, I think we're on the right side.
Well, we're working hard to get you back where you want to be today. College basketball. Throwing this one over to you, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. Thank you so much for coming on today. An eventful day in college basketball. I know that you make a few basketball plays. A good pick that me and Troy gave you yesterday were the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, able to put some cash in your pocket and get the win and the cover over Duke. Now, on the other side of that, I did do a buy-up ticket and cash with Duke myself with plus 10. So here's the deal here, though. Scotty, I wanted to throw this at you because you have mentioned this to me about, a few years back about the kids running on the court and storming the court. Well, we've had our first major injury, people. And it was in this game. Wake Forest acting as if they won the national championship, and they ended up injuring, I think it was Filipowski, if I'm not mistaken, on the court storm, if you will. Something happened with his ankle, and that could trip up Duke going into tournament season, ACC, and the Big Dance. So when you go and you look at that type of unfortunate happenstance, Scotty, where do you feel that the Duke Blue Devils now are going to end up in the ACC? Because it's only Duke and North Carolina in the ACC in the top 25, with them taking another loss yesterday and losing their top player on the roster. I think the Blue Devils might end up with like maybe a 9-8 seed. Go ahead.
Well, I think it's unfortunate, right? I mean, that's kind of like what happened in the World Baseball Classic with Edwin Diaz, right?
Exactly.
You know, jumping around home plate there on a celebration, and blows out his knee. He can't pitch the whole year. So, obviously, it's not that big of a situation there. I think, you sprain an ankle or you twist an ankle or whatever. These are younger kids. They can get over that a little bit better. Unfortunately, they've got a couple weeks, and then they're into the championship weekend. So I think that they need to kind of figure it out. I didn't look at their schedule, but it seems like they've played some of these teams already, and maybe they don't have some of the major foes coming down the line, so maybe they'll be all right.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at Duke, and they are 12-4 in the conference, 21-6 overall. Duke and UNC are the only representatives in the top 25, and you know that I feel that the ACC has fallen off athletically over the past few seasons. Jeff Dawson, I want to throw you in on this conversation here because you're up in Boston College. We're not even going to get into that. 6-10 in the ACC, 15-12. I'm not even looking for them on the line, but just looking at the ACC, do you think as a futures ticket, a long dog, if one of these teams, Carolina or Duke, happens to get one of these strong mid-majors that me and Troy talk about a lot on the show, and again, want to shout out my main man, Daniel Cameron, D Sports Ledger, the two Rons, Ron Third Down Best Bets, and Ronnie B, Las Vegas, Chief Handicapper for JB the Ticket. We've been following these small schools. Do you think the ACC is poised to give you a big payday by betting against them when they get to the tournament, either in conference or postseason? Go ahead, Jeff.
You talk about Duke, you talk about North Carolina. Duke, very talented, not as deep as the Coach K days. And the UNC team that, has flashes of greatness. They can go up and down with the best of them. But I like to say almost have brain farts here where they don't show up. They should have stayed on the bus. I think that, you saw Wake Forest go toe-to-toe and beat Duke yesterday. The sleeper in the ACC, I think, is Virginia. One of those teams that you don't want to see in your bracket because they're not afraid to play first.
The Cavaliers? No. The Cavaliers, no. That debacle. Let's talk about what happened with North Carolina yesterday. This was an under for the ages. Jeff Dawson, Troy West, I want you guys to have a conversation on this. These guys only mustered 44 points. Talking about the Virginia Cavaliers. Terrible. I bought them up to 7. They didn't even get close. When you look at where Virginia is at 20-8, they're not even ranked. I think Virginia would be blessed to go to the NIT. And again, that's even a stretch for me because they don't have any offense. These guys are terrible. 354th overall. Okay, 355th in Division I at only around 64 points a game. That ain't going to win you nothing, okay? That dog is not barking. The pound is coming. Animal control is on patrol. Let's move into another one of these yesterday games that we had, and it was a little bit tough for me because when I watched it, I said, Troy, man, how did this happen? Illinois versus Iowa. Had him in the first half, Troy. Iowa was +1. I took them +5 first half. Did get a cash ticket. Rolled that all over on the money line for the second half. And we know what happened. All right. Illinois, they did roll. Got the 10-point win. Troy, you gave that out yesterday. You said Illinois would roll in the second half. Illinois got this kid named Hawkins, 30 points, only 2 rebounds and 5 assists. So you know that he was chucking the ball from three-pointer. But you look at, again, going back to the Big Ten now, because we're going to get into this Purdue game when we get back from this short commercial break. Is the Big Ten going to be another one of these conferences that helps fill out the bracket of 65, 75, or 125, whatever they're doing now, Troy? Because basically, I'm looking at it from the standpoint, it's the Big Ten, the Big 12, and everybody else. The ACC's not even on my picture. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you, JB. I mean, it's tough. I mean, like I said, this year, I firmly believe there's only 4 to 6 teams that can win the whole thing. Don't count out Arizona. Arizona's got a lot of talent. They're well coached. They're a veteran seasoned team. Let's not rule out the Pac-12. They're not going to send a lot of teams, but Arizona can make some noise in that tournament.
He likes the Arizona Wildcats. When we get back from this short commercial break, before we go, Troy, this is a one. We didn't see this one coming. Alabama and Kentucky costed us a ton of money. We were pushing that under, and we ended up losing on the dog. Alabama got beat down 117-95. The SEC is the league of parity. The best teams are supposed to be great, and they're not, and the worst teams are a little bit better. I took home a little bit of cash yesterday with South Carolina. We did get that road win, but Alabama and Kentucky both at 19-8. That was a game for the century. Kentucky really opened it up on the offensive side. So, guys, quick shout out, go around the board. When we get back from this short commercial break, we'll jump into some of the college basketball slate today. Again, Michigan versus Purdue. Purdue is coming down the line today, and we're going to tell you where to get the cash. Also got a big dog with Ohio State and Michigan State. It's the Battle of Michigan today. Troy West, tell them where they can get your picks. Jeff Dawson, and then Scotty Webb will go around the board that way. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, get to TroyWins.com. Yesterday we gave you Arizona State plus the points. We also gave them to you on the money line. Yesterday they knocked out Washington State. It's TroyWins.com. We'll give you the weekend free. Sunday's absolutely free. Just put in your phone number, and myself or a colleague will get you up and get you some winners.
There you go, putting winners in your pocket. My main man, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. Go ahead.
You can go to our website at eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. A very friendly welcome to the VIP family. For just $3 a day, our service will send you our picks via text and email daily, and that's at eastcoastsportsinvestors.com.
eastcoastsportsinvestors.com. And then my main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb from MLB-daily.com. Tell him where they can get the grease. Go ahead, brother.
Just go to MLBdaily.com, and with the idea being that you can learn a lot about baseball, get kind of an idea of what's going on there, and if you like what's going on, you can subscribe and pick up some of my bets.
That's what we're trying to do here, putting cash in your pocket. Want to give a shout out to my main man, Mark Hayes, station director. Haven't seen him over the past couple of days, man. Keep your head hanging high. You're still the man on the line here at KSHP, and we appreciate everything you're doing and staying strong with us and working and keeping the station alive. And also my main man, Linwood Hard Rock Hamilton, defender of the U. So when we get back from this short commercial break, more grease, all money, all sports, no bull. JB the Ticket, KSHP, AM 1400, 107.1 FM, Vsx Digital Sports Network. Go to my website, jbtheticket.com, and click those live links. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Big Dogs Brewing Company, open 24/7, is an award-winning brewery, a full-service catering business, and a fun, smoke-free brew pub restaurant with a full-service bar, including over 35 craft beers on tap, 35 multi-denomination slot machines, the best gaming promotion, and a lively, dog-friendly outdoor patio. Big Dogs Brewing Company, 4543 North Rancho at Gray. Find out more at BigDogsBrews.com.
You're tuned into the Vsx Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Giving you that grease. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Always spin that score
Back on the line with you, JP, the Ticket Vegas Scoreboard Express, Vsx Digital Sports Network. No better place that you hear these beats waking you up. A little bit of that shisha theme. That's right, Vsx Digital Sports Network. Shout out my main man, Freak Fan Workham, for putting that together for us back in the day. We know a lot of folks like to bop with us. Back on this college basketball, my main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And Scotty Beam 'em up Webb from MLB Daily. You guys are hearing a lot of grease here because I'm telling you, it's about to get hot, waking you up early right now. Talking about this college basketball matchup that Troy West from TroyWins.com is hoping can turn out his way. But it's a big spread here, and I think could be a home dog barking on the line. Rotation number 831, the Purdue Boilermakers. That's right. I'm in, people. I'm in. Wink, wink. Get ready to lose in those kangaroo courts is all I got to say. Minus 1,200 on the money line. Total 151 in the hook. Going out to Michigan. Shout out my main man, Dr. Steve. Rotation number 832. The Michigan Wolverines. Juwan Howard and that team have had a rough season, to say the least. But they're plus 13.5, 14 points, plus 750 on the money line. We saw a couple of big ones yesterday. Shout out to the Air Force for getting that one done. That was a very big win yesterday, plus a 1,500. They were able to put that cash in your pocket. But, Troy, let's talk about this game because Purdue, as you know, they get everyone's best shot. They're on the road today playing a Michigan team that is trying to maintain some relevancy in their conference because it's been tough at 8-19. They're not going to be dancing. They're going to be left out in the cold with the bouncer telling them you're not getting in the club. So when you look at it from that perspective, Purdue has to smash this team, okay? Talking about a 13.5 point spread, 67% of the money is on Purdue. Purdue is 24-3 overall, 5-3 on the road, though. We worry a little bit about Purdue on the road, some of the turnovers that we've seen from Zach Edey, but Michigan, not that great. 8-19 overall. Again, a down season for the Wolverines. 5-8 at home. Do you think that the Purdue Boilermakers can come in here and knock Michigan out and just move right along and try to maintain their top 3 position in the top 25 poll? Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, JB, I would be shocked if Michigan's up for this game. I get this is a big one. Number 3 coming into your house, but this team has no relevance. The season's over. I wouldn't be shocked if Howard gets fired at the end of the year. They've got some of their main guys last year that entered the transfer portal. This Michigan team's a mess. Purdue got their get-right game last week. They beat Rutgers by almost 30. I expect them to beat Michigan by 20-plus today. I think this is a no-brainer to take Purdue.
I'm liking Purdue today as well. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, throwing this one over to you. You've heard Troy mention that Juwan Howard could be on his way out. And if you look at it from Purdue's side of the ball, they are trying to represent and be the next major basketball stalwart in the Big Ten with all this conference realignment. You got USC coming in next season. You got UCLA from the Pac-12. A lot of things are changing, but Purdue is maintaining its dominance. Do you think that the total, want to talk about this total a little bit, of 150 could go under just simply because Michigan might not be able to put the ball in the basket and Purdue may just play strong enough to win this game, play some defense, work on some of their defensive sets, and go from there? Because Michigan, they lost last week to Northwestern, and they lost to Michigan State, they lost to Illinois, they lost to Nebraska. Loss. And what I'm seeing here is they haven't cracked 70 points in either of the last 4 matchups. So when we talk about the under here, do you think that's a play? Go ahead, Scotty.
Well, I think it could be. I mean, I'm seeing 151s, 151.5s, 152s out there. So I think people are betting it maybe a little bit over. So if you wait just a little bit, you might even be able to get a better number. But I think you're right. You know, when you start to look at how teams play and what the scores are, Michigan's been struggling, obviously, and the reality becomes is is when they play at home in front of teams, and this is just a general standard in all gambling, but when you play at home and you've been struggling, you want to do something good in front of your fans because you don't want to be embarrassed at home. So maybe Michigan comes out and says, hey, we're going to play a little different kind of game today. They're playing Purdue, so if they can't get fired up about playing one of the best teams in their conference, maybe Michigan decides that it's a good spot for them. I don't know.
There you go. Going over to you, Jeff Dawson. The Michigan Wolverines, a down season. The Fab Five alumni, Juwan Howard, has not been able to keep them in championship form. As Troy mentioned, the transfer portal has opened up and players are going into the black hole. 13.5, though. Do you think Michigan can do something for their fans, even keep it close? Because for the Michigan State game last week, they were able to keep it close. But again, Michigan is just not on the offensive side of the ball. So talking about that total, they lost to Michigan State in the second half by 10. They've been losing around 10, 15 points. Is there any chance to take the over here? Do you want to buy it down for the over or buy it up for the under just to be safe? Go ahead, Jeff.
I have this game 84-71, so I have it rated 13 with a 155. In conference right now, 4-16. Their 2 home wins, Ohio State 73-65 and Wisconsin 72-68. So both lower scoring games. As everyone here has said, if you can't get up for Purdue, the number 2 team in the country, Juwan Howard has been given the vote of confidence more times this year than I think in any coach in their history. It's just been an ugly, ugly season. I liked the thought process when they hired him, but obviously he's not the answer. If I wanted to play anything on this game, I might take a shot at Michigan first half, play into the crowd, pay that emotion game, and you might be able to catch yourself, right around 7 points, 6.5 points, get a good first half out of them until Purdue wears them down. But I think Purdue wins. That 13.5, I think, is a little sketchy. If I had to go either way, I might lean the over here as well, JB.
Low price. Telling you where the cash is at, guys. Again, my main guys on the line, Troy West from TroyWins.com, Scotty beat him up Webb, and Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and Scotty with MLB-Daily.com. Want to talk about a couple of the smaller schools today. This is from my main man, Legal Lee, here in Las Vegas. Thanks, Lee. We're going to talk about it. It's 2 turds in a bucket, though. You're betting to see which one is going to go down first. This one is the Army Black Knights on the road versus Bucknell Patriot League. Neither one of these teams are going dancing. None of that stuff is happening, but there's some interesting stuff on the line today. You've got 2 teams with the exact same record across the board, 10-18, 4-9 on the road, 4-8 at home, 13-11 against the spread for Army. And again, shout out my Army Black Knights who they were like, JB, you're not talking about us and you're one of us. I'm like, well, you guys need me to put some duct tape on my knee and try to get on the court for you again? But we're talking about this game because of legally. He thinks it's going to go over. Troy West, I'll throw this one at you because I know that you can touch on some of these smaller schools here. Patriot League, I know 2 teams that aren't doing too much, but as out of respect for my main man Legal Lee and my Army cohorts, do you think that this is a game that's going to possibly play under? Army hasn't scored a lot. It's a total of 123.5. My main man Legal Lee thinks it's going to go over. Talk to me about your thoughts on this one, and then we'll jump back into the big grease. Go ahead.
Yeah, these military games always seem to trend under, JB, just like football, similar in college basketball as well. Fortunately, not a lot of relevancy with Navy and Army when it comes to college basketball, but my lean would be on the under. Just slower pace offenses, better defenses. You get the effort on the defensive end with these schools. I'm leaning on the under.
Yeah, he's leaving on the under here. I'm telling you right now, the absolute worst that could happen is you get a push and go to overtime. Let's talk about another game today that I had on my line. We talked about him yesterday. The St. Johnny's running red storm. They're bleeding. They're running red. That's what's happening to them. St. John's today on the line, plus 2.5 at home. 150.5 is the total, going up against the number 15 team in the nation. The Creighton Blue Jays, 19-7, 7-3 on the road. When you talk about Rick Pitino, man, We wanted something good to happen, but we know that this is a different era of college basketball. You can't recruit. You can't go to the transfer portal and try to build a winner. It just doesn't work like football. Troy, we talked about that yesterday. But when you see Rick Pitino at home, St. John's trying to maybe get an NIT berth, something in the postseason to make his coaching hire a relevant thing, with Creighton at -2.5, do you just take Creighton and go home? Because St. John's hasn't been able to get any wins over their last 3 games. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, this line screams trap game, JB. So I'm actually leaning St. John's. I mean, you look at Creighton last week. They beat UConn by 19 points. Granted, that was at home, but this is a really good Creighton basketball team led by Kalkenberg down low. This guy's one of the best centers in the league. They're good outside. So why is this line only 2.5 points? I think it's a letdown for Creighton. I'd probably take St. John's on the money line at home.
He likes St. John's on the money line. Jeff Dawson, I'll throw this one at you, and then we'll take a short commercial break and bring him on the line. My main man, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and RotoWire.com. And then we got a special guest from you to get you lined up here, bringing on a new guy to the big board wanting to get some of this grease. But you're talking about the St. John's Red Storm. St. John's Johnnies right now +2.5 at home, total 150.5. It's hard for me to cap this game because, again, like Troy said, trap game. You saw Creighton do some work against UConn, but St. John's hasn't done any work. And if they do any work today, it's no value on the money line for you. You're only going to pick up about $1.50. Troy wins from Troy West from TroyWins.com. He likes that. But in my opinion, if you're going to go in this type of game, do you want to see maybe buying that up on the spread side to St. John, say maybe -3? That should get you a +200 if you want to play with the line. Go ahead, Jeff Dawson, and then Scotty will let you weigh in on this, take a short commercial break, and bring in the new big boys. Go ahead.
No, I think he's spot on in a trap game. I was on last Sunday St. John's money line in a few parlays against Seton Hall. Big first half lead, and they just never came out in the second half, and they end up losing 68-62. They beat Georgetown by 5. This is an absolute 100% must-win for St. John's. I agree. I would be on St. John's plus the points. St. John's or the money line or nothing. This is a perfect trap spot for Creighton.
That's what we're talking about. And my main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb. Your thoughts, and we'll go to short commercial break. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is a St. John's spot. The reason I say that is because look at what happened in all the games yesterday with all the little short games where people were off of big wins, and then they came in and, they couldn't handle it. So this fits the same spot. I mean, this fits the same criteria where Creighton's off a big win. They come in, it's emotional. They come in, and then I think that you can sit there and go with St. John's, and you can even sprinkle a little on the money line.
He likes St. John's. They're all going with the dog, saying they're barking at home. When I get back from this short commercial break, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, and our special guest. Keep it locked, and let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JP the Ticker. Vegas scoreboarding. Vegas. Giving you that grease.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
Steiner's, the Nevada style pub, invites you to play the best tavern, keno, and video poker in Vegas. Promos are how we roll to make the most of your gaming dollars here with us. Come play our proud partner gaming promotion, Fly Aviators Fly, and receive daily free play, bonuses, and more. With a chance to win awesome brand of prizes and big money for all their jackpots each week. It's not only great gaming that Steiner's Pub has, it's the 24 awesome rotating draft beers, and Vegas' best appetizers to match. So join us in supporting your Las Vegas Aviators, Golden Knights, Lights, Aces, and the Raiders as we make history in Vegas. Steiner's, the Nevada style pub at 8410 West Cheyenne, 1750 North Buffalo, and Las Vegas Boulevard at Windmill. Steiner's, I love this place.
Located only 4 miles from downtown Colorado Springs and just 10 miles from Pikes Peak, Hyatt Place Colorado Springs Garden of the Gods offers spacious rooms featuring contemporary decor with stylish furnishings, including divided living and sleeping areas, the Hyatt Grand Bed, state-of-the-art media and work center, a 42-inch flat-panel high-definition television that easily integrates with laptops and other devices, and complimentary breakfast is included in your stay. Hyatt Place Colorado Springs Garden of the Gods at 503 West Garden of the Gods Road. Visit HyattPlace.com.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV. You're tuned into the Vsx Digital Sports Network.
Yo. You're in the mix.
World's finest, man.
You're listening to the Pulse of the Big Ball. JB the Ticket. Vegas Sports. Giving you that great.
Back at you live, telling you where the grease is at. I got my guys on the line with me. Troy West from TroyWins.com. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Had to let in one of my guests here at the door. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investor. Scotty Webb from MLBDaily.com. And, of course, special guest, my main man Jake from Poppy's Picks and Winnable.com. Good morning, Jake. How you doing, man? Welcome to the big board.
Good morning. I'm doing great. Great to hear from you.
So glad to have you. Been following you on the Instagram for quite some time, getting you where you want to be. And again, my main man Darrell Harris, CBS 8 KLAS, is in studio. We're going to talk a little bit of NBA, shift the basketball up a little bit while you get yourself set there. Man, I had to, you guys hear me huffing, I had to run open the door. Old man can't move that fast. And hang on one second. Let me see. Is that mic working for you? Go ahead.
Mic check. Good morning, JB. Thank you, man.
There you go. Got your mic up and running. How you doing?
I came prepared to make use of my on-air real estate.
Make use of your on-air real estate. Talking NBA, man. I can't even talk right now. Man, got me running around trying to get it going, but thank you guys so much for coming on the line with me this morning. Let's jump into it. The NBA is interesting. This is the early morning game coming on 1 p.m. Eastern time. The Milwaukee Bucks -4.5 at the Philadelphia 76ers +4.5. Totals 234.5. Throwing this one over to you, my main man Jake from Poppy'sPicks.com, Winnable.com. Check him out on Instagram at PickItPoppy, right? You still there, Jake?
That's correct.
All right.
Happy.
All right, perfect. So I want to talk to you about this one. 13-14 on the road for the Milwaukee Bucks. These guys are not playing that great. Supposed to be a championship team. They got Thanasis running around. I mean, he has flashes of greatness. I've actually looked on YouTube for a Thanasis Antetokounmpo highlight tape, and he's got some stuff. But he's also got some wild passes and some really wild layups. But let's talk about the 76ers here today after the All-Star break. Doing pretty good, 33-23, 18-12 is the record. And when you talk about it from that perspective here, is this home dog barking at +4.5? 5 is typically dead money in basketball, but I'll throw this one over to you, Jake. Go ahead.
To be honest with you, I and looking at this number, I take Philly right away. I think that it stands out at the 4.5. I'm at home. I would even sprinkle the money line +160. I don't think the Bucks have it this year. I know Giannis, can carry them as much as he can, but not this year. It's a stop. I like Philly here today at home.
Right. Talking about those Philadelphia 76ers, throwing this one over to you, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much We've been talking about the NBA, the totals, man. These guys are getting over 400 or 500 points a game. There's no defense being played, no rebounds being had. It's just a wild free-for-all out there. This is a big total, though, 234.5 for the first morning game. Do you think that the Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks are just going to get in a shootout today, trying to come back from that All-Star break and get loose? Because in the Eastern Conference, they're kind of neck and neck, only about 2.5 games apart. Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, this is one I actually do like the Bucks. I mean, Doc Rivers has been a mess so far with Milwaukee, but I think he's still trying to get his feet under him, and they're trying to click. This is going against his old team, so I think you'll have the Bucks motivated today. We obviously know Joel Embiid's out for the Sixers. I think Giannis and Lillard get up for him today. I'll take the Bucks in a big way tonight.
Got him in studio here with me. Finally got his microphone set. My main man, Darrell Harris, KLAS, CBS 8, Las Vegas. Producer in the building with me this morning talking about this Milwaukee Bucks Philadelphia 76ers game. I'm trying to pull up the rotation number for you. 551 for the Milwaukee Bucks, -4.5 on the road. They're the favorite, -185 on the money line. Talking about Doc Rivers with that coaching job against his old team. Philadelphia, rotation number 552, +4.5, +160. Again, that total of 234. I'm looking at it from an offensive perspective because the 76ers do have some other guys. They got that young kid Maxey. He's able to drop a bucket or two. Even though Embiid isn't there, you talk about Doc Rivers getting up to coach his old team, but in my opinion, Doc Rivers shouldn't even be the coach of the Bucks. I'm like, where did he come from? Bucks were winning, and they fired their coach, I think Adrian Griffin, right? Something like that. So when you talk about it from that perspective, or you got a lot of people saying the Philadelphia 76ers today, +4.5, that may be a little bit of a tight spread. Do you want to buy them up to, say, maybe an 8? Give yourself a cushion if you like them as a home dog. I'm not liking them as a home dog today just because, like was said before, Dame Lillard, Giannis may be too much on the offensive side for the Sixers, and then I worry about that total if the Sixers could even get some buckets. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I actually think that Milwaukee money line is my best play of the day, looking at all these NBA games. I took them against Minnesota on the road as an upset. Their road record isn't hot so far as you highlighted, but they're coming off a big road win against Minnesota, top 3 team in the Western Conference, great defense. Philadelphia and Maxey specifically just are not the same group of guys without Joel. I've seen games where Maxey is pretty missing in action.
Yeah,
without the guy
Milk Carton, go ahead.
Commanding a double team in the post, and Milwaukee is ready to tap into that. I think Dame coming off the All-Star MVP, 3-point shootout, almost a triple-double the other night. Giannis is putting all his confidence publicly in that, hey, Dame's going to lead us. I think they're finding themselves right now, and they're going to resemble the finals contender that they are.
Right, and you got Brook Lopez down there in the paint. Throwing this one over to you, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investor. Thank you for hanging on the bit. Scotty, I want to bring in you on this one as well. You guys can talk back and forth here. When you talk about the Philadelphia 76ers without Embiid, they don't seem to be a team in the Eastern Conference that can compete. But when you look at their record, they're 33-23, and we know Embiid lives on the injury reserve list. So they clearly can win games without their superstar, but the Milwaukee Bucks, that team is loaded, okay? These guys have got Dame Lillard. They got Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo. You got 2 MVP caliber players. Do you think they just go to Philadelphia today and show that they can dominate and step up? Because we know Doc Rivers is coming in there. We hope he doesn't get the sniffles. But money line, it's a decent price, -185. Jeff Dawson, go ahead.
You know, the All-Star festivities, the All-Star weekend is now a week past. Now this is where, the rubber hits the road. You're down to the last, 22, 25 games, trade deadline, et cetera, coming out. This is where teams start to get into playoff form. I think the Bucks, they had those handful of games with Doc. I think this is where you really start to see the Bucks team get into playoff form. No Embiid. It's entirely a different team. I'd respect this if you like Philly at a 2.5, 3 number. When they open it at 5, in my eyes, there's only one way that number can go is down, in which it heads to 4.5. I like the Bucks money line here.
Likes the Bucks money line. Scotty, beam him up. Webb, throwing this one over to you. Philadelphia, they're a team that has had issues but the record of 18-12 at home, you got to respect it. And Milwaukee, not that great on the road. -4.5. You got a decent price at -185. If you had to pick here, though, you still got that total with some value. Is it a trap total? It opened at 233.5. It moved up now live to 234. Can still get you that -110. Go ahead, Scotty.
Well, both of these teams aren't, I would say, the greatest on defense right this second. I'm looking at Milwaukee. They rank 15th in the last 2 weeks. And when you look at Philadelphia, they rank 13th in the last. So they're right in the middle of the pack. They're not crazy poor on defense. But I actually did what everybody else is doing here. I played Milwaukee minus the 4.5 here. I didn't play the money line. I just played them. Philadelphia. If you're going to take advantage of them, you take advantage of them now because they're struggling.
There you go. Moving into another NBA game. Fan favorite, national favorite. It was 224 yesterday. Rest in peace, good Kobe Bryant. Young Gianna. The Lakers, they got a winning record today. They're a dog on the road at Phoenix. Again, similar record, 32-27, 11-18 on the road. We know the Lakers are old. They can't win on the road. They get off the plane, very cantankerous. They got some issues there. But the Phoenix Suns, a young, talented team that I haven't seen a lot come out of, okay? They are at 32 wins, right neck and neck with the Lakers. 17-11 at home, 23-32 against the spread, though. Phoenix can't cover spreads. And if you're -4 at home and you can't cover spreads, I don't know how you're going to get the cash in your pocket. Throwing this one back over to you, Jake, at Poppy's Picks. Thank you so much for coming on, Troy West. We're going to bring you on this one as well. Jake, where you see this one going? I'll give you about 90 seconds. We got about 8-10 minutes left. Not going to take a commercial break. We're going to drop grease to the wire. Go ahead.
Awesome. Yeah, no, taking a look at this game, I think I'm going to lay off the total. I think I'll stay away from that. But I do like the Suns' money line. The Suns just lost 2 games on the road. They're coming back at home. The Lakers, they are who they are. I would take the Suns' money line here and maybe even lay the 3.
Maybe even lay the 3 there. Troy West throwing this one at you. Can the Lakers get their road play improved, or as Jake just said over from Poppy's Picks, Phoenix is reeling, lost 2 in a row. They've got a Lakers team coming in that surprisingly wins games with some of these weird cast of characters that they can put out there if LeBron or the gingerbread man, a.k.a. Anthony Davis, can't get on the floor. So when you look at it from today's perspective, the total of 240.5, give you about 90 seconds on this one. L.A., 9th in the Western Conference. Phoenix, 8th in the Western Conference. 2 bottom feeders. Where you see that cash going? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going with Phoenix in this game. I mean, this is a Phoenix Suns team. Without a doubt, they've been a disappointment. If the season were to end today, they'd run into the 5 seed. I thought this team would actually lead the Western Conference with the veterans they have with Beal, Booker, Nurkic, and also Kevin Durant. I mean, I thought that was going into the season one of the best 4s in the NBA. They've underachieved. We obviously know the Lakers have underachieved. I just think the Suns get up for this game. This is the type of game that Kevin Durant loves. He gets up. They're at home. Beal will have a big game. Booker have a big game. I like the Suns in a high-scoring game. I think they win this one like a 127-100 type of basketball game. I like the Suns.
And throw this one over to you, Darrell Harris at LAS CBS 8 here, man, here in studio with me. Thank you guys so much. Got about 5 minutes left. A lot of grease here. We're going to throw this one at you and then jump back into some college ball and then get our best picks of the day. Los Angeles, the Lakers. You're looking at this team and you're saying, why are they 9th in the Western Conference when they have superstars, when they have guys who are the face of the league? And then, as Troy just said, the Phoenix Suns, young talent, old veterans, still can't put wins on the board, still can't dominate. You got Phoenix here, -4, -4.5, depending on where you get them. Do you want to buy them down to just like a -1 or a pick them and just take your losses with the capital that you can win, but increase your betting to give yourself a chance? Seems to be everybody's going with Phoenix here today at home, who I think should be in a home dog position because of the 2 losses. And the Lakers, again, coming in with their last recent win, and you've had Anthony Davis being able to stay healthy. Do you think maybe the Lakers are a road dog this market? Go ahead.
Lake Show money line. You look at how Phoenix lost their last 2 games. Down double digits in the second half against Dallas. Down double digits in the second half against Houston. Huge rally in the fourth. Still came up short because of stupid plays. Look at their key contributors. Right now, Beal's listed as out.
Right.
KD, if you saw the last game, he got rolled up on the front of his leg and hyperextended. Shoe came off, gimpy. I don't think he's 100%.
You know what happens when the shoe comes off. Go ahead.
You saw the leg as well. It hyperextended. Somebody rolled back to him. It was push and shove after that because it was like, was that dirty or not? Whatever it was. I don't see a fully health, confident Kevin Durant in today's game. The Lakers dropped the first one from the break against the Warriors. LeBron didn't play. Wasn't really a gas pedal game. They had a 3 or 4 game advantage over the Warriors. Right now, they're still eyeing play-in territory. Phoenix had a grip on the 6th spot. With their losses, they're sliding into play-in territory as well. I think the skid continues.
Well, telling you right now, man, jumping back into this college basketball, he likes the Lakers. My other guys like the Phoenix Suns. I like this one to maybe be a slight under. I just don't think either one of these teams are going to be scoring a lot today, but I could be wrong. But we got about 5 minutes left, guys. Going to jump back into some college basketball today. The Final Four, Cinderella last year. Florida Atlantic is on the line today. They are road favorite. Rotation number 833, the Florida Atlantic Owls -2, -127 on the money line. Total of 160. Rotation number 834, the Memphis Tigers at home. They are a home dog. Anthony Hardaway, a.k.a. Penny Hardaway, trying to coach these guys to some relevancy. 19-8. They could be on the outside of the bubble in the American Athletic Conference. Troy West, I'll throw this one at you. Do you think Memphis is a home dog this barking today that you can count on? Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, I'm going with Memphis. This Florida Atlantic team struggled on the road. They lost last week. If you watch them at South Florida, they're not as good on the road. This is not the Final Four team that you saw last year. They're a good basketball team. They'll make the tournament, but they're just not as good. I like Memphis to be rocking tonight. Give me Memphis as the dog.
He's liking Memphis at the dog. Jake, I'll throw this one at you, and then Jeff Dawson, CEO, East Coast Sports Investors, we'll throw this one at you as well. Memphis 11-2 at home. You got Florida Atlantic 4-4 on the road. I think this is a dog that's barking. I like the Memphis Tigers. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys completely here. I am also on Memphis here. I think Memphis needs a win at home. I think Penny will have the boys ready. FAU, like you guys said, definitely not the team that they were in the previous year. Still a good team. They will put up points. I don't like them on the road, though, like you guys said. So I would lean the over, even though it's a high number at 161. But I like Memphis.
We like Memphis, too, because that's going to be able to put some cash in your pocket. Guys, you got about 3 minutes left. Jumping into another college basketball matchup that people are looking at. It is a late game in the Big Ten. Troy West, I'm going to throw this one at you. Jeff Dawson, Scotty, beam him up. Webb, my main man Jake from Poppy's Picks. Thank you so much for coming in. Darrell Harris, CBS 8 here in Las Vegas, KLAS. Ohio State versus Michigan State. Ohio State, 56% of the money, plus 9.5. Michigan State, minus 9.5. These two teams are evenly matched, in my opinion. 15-12, 0-8 on the road for Ohio State, though. Wow. And Michigan State coming in here pretty strong at 13-3 at home. Troy West, I'll throw this one at you. We got about 2 minutes left. Go ahead.
Yeah, JB, this made my official card today. I like Ohio State a lot. I bought this thing up to 10.5. I think it's a closer game. Ohio State got the big win against Purdue. Their interim coach has been outstanding so far. They'll come in motivated today. I'm not sure they win the game, but I'll take 10.5 points all day long.
There you go, Jeff Dawson, 15 seconds. You like this game, and then give me your best play of the day. I'm going to go around the board. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. A number that opened to 9.5 went right to 10. I like the 10.5 with Ohio State. I think Michigan State wins, but I like Ohio State to cover.
All right, guys, that's about a wrap. We got about 90 seconds left. I'm going to go around the big board. 10 seconds. Give me your best pick. I'm going to throw your name out there, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Thank you so much. Follow him. It is Troy West. Troy West, what's your best play today? Go ahead.
JB, we just talked about it. Give me Ohio State plus the points. We gave you Arizona as an underdog yesterday. Arizona State as a dog yesterday. I'm giving you another dog today. Ohio State. Don't be shocked if they win this game, but give me the points.
Telling you, taking the points. Scotty, beam him up. Webb, thank you so much for coming on. What's your best play today?
Give me the Dallas Mavericks on the money line.
He likes Dallas Mavericks on the money line. MLB-daily.com. You're going to have those baseball picks up and ready for us. Jeff Dawson, what's your best play today? Go ahead.
Rotation number 564, Golden State Warriors minus 130 on the money line to beat the Joker and the Nuggets.
He's liking these guys over the Joker and the Nuggets. And then my special guest, Jake Poppy from Poppy's Picks, winnable.com. What's your best play today? 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Best play of the day is USF +3. I like Amir Abdul-Rahim and the Bulls to cover today at home.
That's right. They're going up against SMU. Guys, take a look at it. And then in studio, my main man, Darrell Harris, KLAS CBS 8 producer. What's your best play of the day? And then we'll get out of here and get the big board book going. Go ahead.
Shout out to those Orlando Magic boys. 1-point spread. It's a gimme. They're going to take business against the Hawks. They got all kind of problems for those guards and length up front. They're going to get it done.
All right, guys. You know what time it is. It's time to get the money.